Correct. Yeah.
There we go.
Not all of them, but many. Correct. So the blessing before, as Shep noted, the blessing before the Haftarah serves almost like a function, not a function, like also a formula of all the tropes. It's not all the tropes, but it's definitely a substantial number of them that appear in that bracha. What I would like to do is to jump right into the Haftarah. And put it together. Did anyone go over that or try to play with that a little bit during the week? Yes, no?
Playing with Vayishlach.
Vayishlach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why Vayishlach?
Well, because maybe you want to do that.
Maybe.
Okay, so okay, let me just hold on. Okay, so Greg wanna take a stab at Vayishlach, which I'm happy to look at. So we're looking at the Haftarah of Vayishlach. That means we're looking at here in the shul, we're looking at page 101, I'm sorry, 1141. That's Chazon Ovadia. Greg, did you check that that's indeed the Haftarah for that Shabbat?
Did I what?
Did you check that indeed this is the correct Haftarah for
No,
that Shabbat?
I did not.
Okay.
Sometimes you change that one.
It's something that's worthwhile to look because sometimes, you know, there is Rosh Chodesh, there's okay, let's so it's worthwhile to look at
It's not Rosh Chodesh. It's not Hanukkah. It comes before Hanukkah. It's the Shabbos before Hanukkah.
okay, so it's not yet Hanukkah.
No.
Because sometimes it is Shabbat Hanukkah, which gets a different Haftarah.
Right.
Okay, let's assume for now. I'm gonna, Greg, remind me tomorrow. I'm gonna check it out very quickly, the Luach.
Okay.
Just to, but so let's take a look at that for a couple of minutes at the Haftarah and see what Greg is doing with it. Okay, let's see. We're ready. We can hear you.
Okay. Chazon Ovadia Ko Amar Adonai Elohim LeAdon Shamua Shamanu Mi'et Adonai Vatzir B'Goyim Shulach Kumu Nekuma Aleha L'Milchama.
Okay, let me stop you for a second. So your the way you chant it is slightly different than I do that, which is fine. But the thing that two things in this pasuk. I think that the tipcha should be more clear that there's a tipcha. Chazon Ovadia, right? And then, and especially the etnachta on the word Ovadia. It's got to be clear. This is a big trope. The etnachta is a big trope. It has, and then you have a revi'i there, le'edom, and then it has after. So you have kadma ve'azla revi'i, and then you have kadma ve'azla munach revi'i. So the revi'i also needs to be a little bit distinct. Tararam. Iraram. Revi ledom. Try again. Chazon Ovadia.
Ovadia, Koamar, Adonai Elohim, Le'adon, Shamua Shamanu, Me'et Adonai, B'tzir V'goyim Shulach, Kumu Nekuma Aleha, Le'milchama.
Good. Just a quick fix on the Hebrew. Shemua Shamanu.
Shemua Shamanu.
Yeah. And then, and it's not Venakuma, but rather Venakuma. See the Mercha, second line, last word, Venakuma. The Mercha is on the Kuf.
Kuma.
Venakuma, yeah. Kumu.
Kumu.
Venakuma alea la milchama.
Oh, there, Nakuma, yeah.
Okay, go on.
Hine katon, nataticha begoyim, vazu atama'od.
Okay, but again, Bagoyim is at Nachta. Bagoyim.
Bagoyim, like that.
Bazoyata mehot. Yeah.
So, hine katon, naticha begoyim,
Netaticha. Two tufs.
hine katon, netaticha begoyim, vazu atama'od.
Go on.
Zadon livcha hishiecha, sechonei becha beisel.
Shochni.
Shochni. That's with a shin or a sin?
It's a shin. You have a dot on the right side. The dot
Right.
on the left side is actually, it tells you it's a cholam, O sound, right? Shochni.
Sochni.
Sho.
Show. You want it still show?
Yeah.
Even though it's on the left side.
Well, the dot on the left side is for the O sound. It's not,
Oh,
doesn't make it into a sin. The fact that you have a dot in the right side tells you that it's a shin.
okay.
Shochni v'chagei sela.
Okay. So don't leave Chashiecha. Sechoni bekave sela.
Shochni.
Shochni.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shochni bekave sela. Maro shivto. Amar bilibo.
Omer, not Omar. Omar, I will tell. Omer, he is telling. Omer, there are two dots there.
Okay. Okay. Try it again. Zalon licha yishiecha, shechonei bekavle sela, marom shivto omer bilibo, miyadareni aretz.
Miyorideni aretz.
Yorideni aretz.
Yeah, go on.
In tagvia kenesher, in ben kochavim, sinkinecha, misham orodcha, na'um Adonai.
Go on.
In ganavim va'ulecha,
Ganavim. Robbers.
in ganavim va'ulecha, in shodorei laila, ech nidneta, halo igvanu dayam, in botzrim ba'ulach, halo yishienu olelo.
Hey.
I missed that word.
Yeah,
Halo
Yashiru.
yashiru olelo.
Yeah. Now this one, by the way, the next one is, it's not a ma'apach, it's not taram, but rather it's a yetiv. Yetiv, ech nichpesu Esav.
Esav, niva'u mitzupanav.
Matzpunav.
Matzpunav. Aragavur shilchucha, kol anshe britecha, ishiucha yichalu lecha, anshe shlomecha lechamcha.
Lachmecha.
Lachmecha. Yasimu mazor Tavtecha ein tuvuna bo.
Okay. Hello.
Bo. Halo v'yom ahu na'um Adonai. V'avadati chachamim me'adam. Utuna me'haresav. V'chati giborecha teman. V'chatu.
That's it.
V'chatu giborecha teman. Laman yikaret ish me'haresav mikatel. Mechamas achicha Yaakov, tichasa busha nifrata leolam. V'yom amadata
Okay. The word is amodcha.
v'yom amodcha minegeb. V'yom shavu tzarim chelo v'nachreim bo'u sa'arav. V'al Yerushalayim yadu goral. Gam ata ke'echad mehem. Al teira b'yom achicha b'yom nachro v'al tismach livnei Yehuda b'yom avdam v'al tagel picha b'yom tzorah al tavo v'sha'ar ami b'yom edam al teira gam ata v'ra'oto b'yom edo v'al tishlachna b'chel b'yom edo v'al ta'amod al ha'perek v'achrit el polita v'al tazker shirida b'yom tzara ki karov yom Adonai al kol hagoyim kasher atzita ya'aselach v'muchal yashuv roshecha ki kasher shititam al harkachi yishtu kol hagoyim Tamid b'shatu v'la'u, v'hayu kolo hayu. Uva'ar Tzion, tehyeh pleita, v'haya kodesh, v'rashu beit Yaakov, et moroshehem. V'haya beit Yaakov eish, uveit Yosef lahava, uveit asu lekash, ודחו בהם ואכלום, ולא יהיה שריד לבית עשיו, כי אדוני דיבר. וירשו הנגב את הרי עשיו, והשפלה את פלישתים, וירשו את שדה אפרים, ואת שדה שומרון ובנימין את הגלעד, וגלות החיל הזה, לבני ישראל אשר כנענים על צרפת וגלות ירושלים אשר בספרד ירשו את ערי הנגב ועלו מושמעים בהר ציון לשפט את הרי עשיו והייתה לאדוני המלוכה.
Okay. So here is my suggestion. One is to go back into the to the Hebrew and really iron like little things here and there. Number two, you have a tendency to not really distinguish musically between the two patterns, the Kadma with the Zakef Katon pattern and the Mahapach pattern. And this is something that is, I think it's important. So just like, kind of a, helping tool, I'm happy to send you a recording of that Haftarah. You want to, listen, so you can also like see the Hebrew and like, kind of something that help you put it. I will just remind me tomorrow morning or something, and I'll do that. I'll try to remember.
That would help.
and we'll see. You're gonna practice it and see what's when you feel comfortable, then then you need to just like talk to Rabbi Posey, and sometimes people book it like they have a yard site or stuff or whatever. So just you have to, I don't know what's the I don't know like the schedule by heart. Okay. Okay. Who is who wanna give a shot in any haftarah? I thought that we're gonna work on these two just because I like put the text, but you don't have to. Any haftarah. Um, um, who wants to give a shot? Not yet. Okay. Alan, wanna? Well, whatever you want. I mean, it's like what? No, 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 no. For someone, um, the music is going to be harder, and the other person, the Hebrew is going to be harder than the music. It really depends. Um, it depends on what you know, strength is the music or your strength is the Hebrew. I mean, I can tell. So I can tell you that Noach, for example, is always easy. Lech Lecha is also easy because it's like it's the same patterns all the time, and the Hebrew is not that challenging in both of them. Really doesn't matter. Open to Lech Lecha, okay? So, okay. So, Greg, do you have that? Lech Lecha, Haftarah of Lech Lecha? Okay. So again, when you look at Haftarah, I think that it's very, very helpful if you take the pasuk, read it, no melody first. Just let's take a look at the Hebrew. Ready for that, Alan? Just read what?
With the
No. You need all the names of the trope? Okay.
do it. And
Uh-huh. Okay, so it's just before if you flip, I mean, if you flip just before page before the you have all the names of the trope. But I think you need to first take a look at the Hebrew, feel comfortable that you can read the Hebrew. And we can do it one pasuk at a time. So just take a look at the Hebrew, just read it one. Right. So this is a shva. This is shvanach utedaber Yisrael. Yeah. Yeah. The one that has the S sound. Utedaber. Yeah. The tough. Correct. Ume Elohai. Right. So now if you're gonna take a look at that pasuk and you're gonna try to divide it, what are your units?
Well,
Nope. You can start before that. What? You have that nachta there. That's correct. So the word Israel divides the pasuk into two halves, but you have smaller units.
word.
Correct. Lama tomar Yaakov. Right. And then Darki.
What that would word, and I very often, that's one.
Everybody needs to practice. Nistera Darki me'Adonai. So that's a stop. And then Ume Elohai. Right. Okay. So you can look at the names and the of the trop if you want to look at that. There, I don't know. Pashta Munar Zarka Munar Segol Munar Hevi Mapa Pashta Zakev Gadol Merchat Tipcha Munach Et Nachta חוזר תלישה קטנה, תלישה גדולה, קדמה ועזלה גרש, גרש ההיא דרכה תביר, דן יתיב, סוף פסוק. By the way, the bottom line, שלשלת קרני פרה, מרחק כפולה, ירח בן יומו, you're not going to find it in Haftarot. Only in Torah reading. Okay? Okay. The bottom line of, so meaning the tropes, שלשלת קרני פרה, מרחק כפולה, ירח בן יומו, do not appear in the Haftarot, only in the Torah reading. Okay? So now, no, it's exactly the same. It's just that they do not appear in any of the Haftarot. And because they did not, no, not really. I mean, maybe it was at some point, and the Ashkenazi tradition definitely it was lost because none of the Haftarot has it.
With the reason that there's no need for blessing.
Why there's no trope melody for the blessings after the Haftarah? I think because there's like just a theory that I'm making up. I think that there's like we have a final da 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 ba ba ba, which the end of the Haftarah, which kind of deviates from the musical pattern. So it's like really doesn't make any sense to go back to the pattern, to the music of the Haftarah, if you already moved away from that, right? And especially because what's between that, between the end of the Haftarah and the next part of the service, what happens is Musaf, right? And if I'm going to go in major now, and I start later on, that's also in major. So the point is that I have here in major, so that means that what I'm going to have in between, it's got to be like some sort of a major key. And I think that this is how it developed, that melody. There is a melody, but it's not a trope melody.
You don't have to go upside there. You go to the limit.
No, it's just a melody. Just like, when it comes to tefillah, we have melodies attached to the words. Here too, we have a melody attached to the words. That's the specific. So all those melodies, these are melodies that are, but I was thinking more like along the melody of the Nusach HaTfilah, i.e. Nusach HaTfilah, that's the next series. Nusach HaTfilah is, right, it's, let's call it the framework with which we chant the Tfilah, right? We're not, when it comes to Nusach HaTfilah and the Tfilah itself, we're not as exact when it comes to the melody as with the trope. Right? There's more freedom, right? So it's more like jazz. There's a the Torah reading and Haftarah is more like reading exactly the way it's written, right? It's more like classical music, the way you read it from the score. Okay, you have a little bit of, you have room for interpretation. And therefore, you're going to do the Revi a little bit different than the other one, blah, blah, blah. So there's like room for interpretation. But basically, you read from the score. You can't deviate from that. When it comes to tefillah, it's different because tefillah is like jazz. There's a lot of improvisation. So there's a framework. And then within that framework, you improvise. And the more musical you are, and the more flexible you are, and the more, the better voice you have, and the better you have control of the Hebrew and your understanding and your interpretation and all that kind of stuff, then your tefillah is going to be, let's call it more impressive perhaps, or more musical, or whatever that is. And that's the difference between the different chazanim, right? Why one guy is good and the other one is not? Because one guy, let's call it, is more, I don't know, is more musical, or his Hebrew is better, his voice is better, his understanding of the text is better, and he's able to reflect that, etc., etc., etc. So that when it comes to the blessings after the Haftarah, I would say that it's very similar to Tfilah. In other words, there's a framework, which I know I'm in a major key, but I can make it in 5 different ways. I can make it every time, right? I can do whatever I want, whatever. But those I've never seen that before. The blessings of the Haftarah. No, tefillah, yes, I understand, but not the blessings of the. The question was the blessings of the Haftarah.
In your case, how do you decide what to do?
When I come to the end of the blessings,
No, you can't do it.
the end of the Haftarah has a very distinct, very clear, non-changing thing. Last week we talked about it. Da 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 da, or that's like score. That's like in the notes. That's you don't get to correct. So what? Yeah, so what? But whoever is reading the Torah is memorizing that. Okay. Alan, come on. Let's try to put it into so we have Lama Tomar Yaakov Utedaber Israel Nistera Darki me'Adonai u'me'Elohai Mishpati Ya'avor. Okay, that's the first layer. Right? Okay. Then I have a Ma'apach Kadma zakef katon. That's one of the patterns. Lamat or mapach katma zakef. Oh, that's the beginning of the Haftarah. Lama tomar Yaakov. Right, and then tipcha et nachta utedaber Yisrael. Again, I have mapach kadma zakef nistera darki me'adonai tipecha mercha pasuk ume'elohai mishpati ya'avor. Okay, try. Very good. Elohei olam hapach. That means nothing. It means that it has no. Correct. So Elohei olam Adonai. Don't say olama, not olam Adonai. Olam Adonai. Elohei olam Adonai bore. Right. Lo yi'ah. Good. Einche. No, don't bring the tipcha to the ein. The ein is the mercha. So mercha tipcha einche. Good. Move on. Noten mercha. Okay. So noten layaf koach. That was good. And then again mercha tipcha. Ra ulein onim. Good. Just a tiny thing is the word is otzma, not atzma. I know it's a kamatz, but this is one of those places that is a kamatz katan. We pronounce it as a o, and therefore I happen to know the rules of Hebrew, but the easier way to know that is to actually to look at one of those editions, not our scroll, but Koren or Simanim or any of those editions that actually distinguish, and they have a slightly different sign for that. So, okay. So when you prepare, yeah, but I know, but and I'm happy to report any haftarah to anyone at any time. That's not a problem. But what I'm saying is that when you prepare a haftarah or Torah reading, first step is to take a very, very accurate edition and easy to use. So Koren is good, and my favorite is the Simanim edition. The Haftarah book at Benny's is also by Simanim. It's very, very good, and it tells you like the Shvanach and the Shvana and the Kamatz Katan and all those little things that just makes it easier to read accurately. Okay, Otzma Yarbe. Yi'afu. But every time at the beginning of a word is going to be a sound, right? Right. That's one of the rules of Shfa. Berosh Milah, yeah. Ve'yi'afu, but the right. Okay, but now you're not really following the melodies of the trope, right? So the trope is a mercha tipcha, mercha, right? So mercha ve'yafu. Ve'yigahu. But look. You tell me where is the etnachta on that word? Yeah, that means what? Okay, ve'yigau, right? Because of ve'yigau. This is why I'm saying it's so important to read it first, just to Hebrew. Because if you read it first, just to Hebrew, ve'yi'afu ne'arim ve'yigau uvachurim kashol yikashelu. So when you do that a couple of times, you feel comfortable already with the phrasing of the text, and then when you add the melodies, it's just going to be easier. I think. I mean, not in the beginning. In the beginning, you think that the fastest thing is going to be, okay, let me just dump everything together. All the trope, the vowels, It's not. It's not. It's a koye, actually. Yeah. Yeah, the vowel gives you the O sound. It's a cholam maleh. Yep. Yachalifu, not yachalifu, but yachalifu. Yeah. Good. So ya'alu ever kansharim. Yeah, yarutsu, exactly. Because you see that the second one is at the very end of the word. So makes no sense. Right? Yarutsu. Right, Yigau, excellent. Right. So Yelhu velo, but it's not Yafu, but rather look where the meteg is. Exactly. Yafu. Vekoye mapach kadma munach katon. Vekoye Adonai yachalifu choach. If we're already like stopping, there's no dot in that kaf. Right? Not huge mistake, but since we're already learning something. Yeah, and then that is fine, and that's totally understandable, and I'm happy to do that. The point is, learning just from recording is not gonna, I mean, you might be able to, you're gonna do a good job, but you're not gonna learn anything. So the next time you'll have to do Haftarah, you're gonna start from scratch again. And you're gonna get another recording and you're gonna start again from scratch. And you're just basically memorizing without realizing what you're doing. No, no, no. You're gonna do 100 Haftarah this way and you're not gonna get a sense of anything. It's gonna take you years and thousands of hours, and it's like gonna get you nowhere. It's like, you know, when you learn math and so you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna memorize the 2 and 2 is 4, not realizing what's the logic behind that and how it works. It's the same idea. So in the short run, if you're going to prepare one Haftarah, yes, you're right. But if you're interested in actually acquiring that skill, you need to delve into the system. You need to understand how it works rather than memorizing it. Any brain can put it together. That's not the point. I said, I can't help you if the Hebrew is not good, and I can't help you if you're not musical, but you will understand the system. It's not difficult. It takes time. But the two things that actually are the biggest obstacles, people, and I would say the biggest obstacle is the Hebrew. The Hebrew. If you're completely confident, it's gonna work. Okay, maybe you're not the most musical person, so you're not gonna do like, you don't sing like Pavarotti. Okay, fine. But it's still gonna be good. It's still gonna be clear. It's still gonna be. So the Hebrew is the absolutely basis, most important part of preparing a haftarah.
Being the note.
I'm saying that if you're confident with the Hebrew, then everything else is, you can build upon that. And I know because I taught kids for so many years. So what's the difference?
Well, musical.
I understand, but I'm less concerned about the musicality. I'm more concerned about the accuracy, and the accuracy you can achieve, right? It's the Hebrew, it's the accents, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, are we clear? I think that everybody understand. Again, I'm gonna, gonna summarize. I'm telling you guys, I know it's like very tempting to just like, okay, let's decide that I'm taking a haftarah. I'm gonna listen to a recording and whatever, and just gonna prepare it and so whatever. And I get it. That's fine. And if there's like a special occasion to which you want to prepare a haftarah, whatever, then it's fine. You'll get there. You'll do that. But if you are interested in actually be able to do that and understand it and like be able to do other haftarot and that kind of stuff, then you need to understand the methodology. And again, here it's basically the three layer methodology. Hebrew, speak it, say it, like make sure that you can read it, and it's easy for you to pronounce the Hebrew as if it was the most simple text in English. That's number one. With the accent, absolutely, but you don't have to, because you have the trope and you can see what the accents are, and if you know what to Hebrew, that's okay. So that's the first layer. The second layer is you work with the patterns, and you are able to do that, and that's going to get you about 85% of the haftarah. And for that, you need to really listen to that recording of the patterns again and again and again, and make sure that you have those 8 tropes in your brain. And not only then, you add the others. Listen, it takes a long time. I mean, kids, when they prepare for their bar mitzvah, like for the first time that they read a haftarah, sometimes some kids spend 5-6 months on a haftarah. Right? So and this is how you do that, and like everything else in life, the more you do it, the more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the process becomes shorter. Okay, yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Accents and everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you mean just read the tropes? Like instead of the words? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. On that particular haftarah. Okay. And then everything together. Got it. That's fine. Let me know which, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to record. I get requests for recordings all the time. And actually I started a while ago just saving them. So I already have like a nice chunk of a nice number of haftarot that I saved. So sometimes it's like people are like, oh, I just asked you like 5 minutes ago. I already did. That's like you already have that as a file. So I'm happy to do that. I don't remember if I start next week with the next series or not. I do not
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. No, but today is the last one of the Haftarah. Correct. This is number 3. That's the end of Haftarah. The question is of week. Yeah, but I'm trying to. I have to double check that and see if I didn't have like a little gap. That's the only thing that I don't remember. Weekdays and Shabbat makes sense. Okay. So we have to see. I just like the only thing that I'm